Hi, welcome to SpanishCheckerPro.com, the educational grammar checker for learners of Spanish. In this short video, I'll describe the site for you, discuss its features, and explain why it's a great tool for improving the skills needed to write successfully in Spanish. So what is SpanishChecker Pro? It's an online software program that examines compositions written in Spanish and identifies common errors. The site has been designed to do exactly what teachers do when marking written assignments. That is, underline errors and provide clear feedback to help students learn from their mistakes. To use SpanishChecker Pro, you need some kind of text. You can write in the main window or cut and paste from a Word document. Make sure you haven't added any formatting, since the site will remove this during the checking process. Once you have a text, click the check button and the site will quickly examine your composition for common errors. After a few seconds, the text will reappear and three kinds of errors will be highlighted. Spelling errors will be indicated by red letters, and grammatical errors will be surrounded by either a red box, which indicates that a structure is definitely an error, or a yellow box, which indicates that a structure is quite probably an error. To receive information about the mistake, move your mouse over it and a comment box will appear. This box provides an explanation and an example of correct usage. After reading this information, the user simply edits the text by clicking the error and making the necessary change. No automatic correction is given. The user must interact with the feedback provided. It should be noted that SpanishChecker Pro has been designed by language teachers and is inspired by a process writing approach to learning. Site users should approach the writing task in stages. As such, we suggest you submit a text, correct the errors, and then resubmit your work. This is important since SpanishChecker Pro requires certain errors to be fixed before it will point out other ones. For example, if you write el quieres without an accent on the L, only the need for an accent over the E will be highlighted first of all. Once this change is made, the error concerning subject-verb agreement will be caught. It's through a series of interactions like this that one makes greatest progress and that SpanishChecker Pro will be most successful at identifying errors. Now, what kind of errors does it catch and explain? While no grammar checker will identify 100% of errors, SpanishChecker Pro catches the vast majority and is particularly good at finding second language problems. For example, anglicisms like soy miedo, grammar errors concerning the subjunctive, subject-verb agreement, adjective-noun agreement, and preposition choice, problems with accents and homophones like LL, CC, mas, etc., problems with capitalization and punctuation, ser, estar, problems with the verb gustar, por, para, and literally thousands more. Let's have a look at the site's various features. Above the editing window, you'll find buttons that help with checking, copying and pasting, printing, and enlarging the editor window. Above the editor in the center, you'll find buttons to receive comments in English or Spanish. For example, if you choose English and then resubmit a text, all explanations will be given in English. This can be helpful for beginners and for parents wishing to help their children with homework. Note that the current text is erased when you change the interface language. Above the editor on the right, you'll see buttons that allow you to insert accented characters. On the top right of the screen, you can change various settings under My Profile, and you can access any text you've submitted in the past with the My Text Archive button. Let's now look at the features below the editing window. First, you'll notice two checkboxes. These allow the user to indicate if they are male or female. This is important since certain forms of feminine agreement are required if the writer is female. The second box allows the user to indicate whether or not Spanish is their first language. When this is checked, errors typical of Anglophones will not be flagged. Below the checkboxes, you'll find an English-Spanish dictionary that has thousands of common words and expressions. Simply type in an English word to get its Spanish equivalent. Moving down the screen, you'll find an error summary along with the accompanying explanations. Many errors will also have interactive exercises associated with them. Simply click on the link and you'll have access to an exercise that is related to the error you've just made. How is SpanishChecker Pro different from MS Word's Grammar Checker? SpanishChecker Pro targets errors made by second language learners of Spanish. It's available online and can be used at home or at school. It has exercises and error summaries to encourage learning. It provides clear explanations that students interact with in order to learn during the editing process. Does it work? The pedagogical approach espoused by SpanishChecker Pro is supported by a great deal of research that underscores the importance of having students interact with feedback to facilitate learning. Some of the most encouraging proof of SpanishChecker Pro's ability to help students comes from the learners themselves. One student wrote us to say, "Your site finds so many errors and helps me write a composition with minimal mistakes." Another writes, "I love the fact that I learn when I use your site. My compositions aren't perfect, but they are getting better and better. Even my teacher has noticed an improvement." What's the difference between the free and the pro version of SpanishChecker? Well, with the pro version, you get a large resizable window for editing texts. There's no advertising. There are exercises and a detailed error summary. There are no length restrictions on submissions. You get a writing portfolio, and you have access to our English-Spanish dictionary. Thanks for taking the time to learn about SpanishChecker Pro. If you'd like information about our reasonably priced classroom or school licenses, please contact us at mail@SpanishChecker.com, and we'd be delighted to answer your questions and discuss how you could integrate SpanishChecker Pro into your curriculum.